Challenger for the Hitman's WBC middleweight crown, topping a
WBC title. The WBA title, rather. And then Barkley is now the WBC holder. James Cook. How much longer can he go on taking the left?
We're off to the United States for the sensational events that shook the boxing world at the Las Vegas Hilton. As all boxing fans know, Thomas Hearns has gone down in history for winning a world title at 4 different weights. The Hitman's latest assignment matched him with Iran Barkley at middleweight, with Hearns the overwhelming favourite. Our commentators Jim Watt and Reg Guttridge.
Here comes Iran Barkley, nicknamed the Blade, and a real hard and fearsome looking character as well, isn't he? A little bit angry at losing to Sambu Kalanbay in Italy, the WBA 12 rounds last October. And he says that something went wrong on the scales, and he really is blaming the Italians out there for that. He said, "I never weighed 10 stone 13 or 153 in my life." This is the middleweight limit then, 11 stone 6. Here's Tommy Hearns, but Tommy Hearns has come in a 7-2 favourite. He was almost 5-1 in the early betting, but there's been some smart money for him in the last hour or two of the Challenger. And of course, betting is all legal here and posted on the boards outside. But the odds, I got the impression, were very much in the bookmakers' favour here. So the Rocky theme, the Eye of the Tiger. Barkley came into the gospel sung by the Georgia Mass Choir. We've got the victory. A little bit premature. And the man there used to work a bit with Muhammad Ali, Lloyd Wells. And he just concentrates straight on there. He's got a touch of the Mike Tyson mentality there, ignoring all around him, Tommy Hearns. Different style of boxer entirely, of course, to the heavyweight champion. But a record breaker. 4 championships of the world at different weights. In fact, they haven't always been unified, and there's always been others in other commissions. But it's a great performance nonetheless by Tommy Hearns. Defeated Dennis Andrews, who's now joined his stable. And there's the statistics. Hearns has been around so long, 29 really seems quite young for him. He boxed in 1976 at Wembley as an amateur against George Gilbody. Only a split verdict too. So there's the rundown of the rules. And that standing 8 count means that, as they do in amateur boxing, that you can get a count without going down.
So let's get ready to rumble. 12 rounds for the WBC Middleweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the black trunks with red trim and weighed in at an even 160 pounds. He's from the Big Apple, New York City, New York. As a professional, 24 victories, 4 defeats, 15 KOs. Ranked number 2 in the world by the WBC. Introducing the challenger, Iran, the Blade Barkley.
Well, he's really playing the villain's role here, and the crowd are reacting to it.
The red corner, wearing the Kronk gold trunks, also weighing an even 160 pounds. As a professional, 45 victories, only 2 defeats, 38 KOs. The only man in boxing history to hold 4 titles in 4 divisions. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Motor City of Detroit, Michigan, the former world welterweight champion, the former world super welterweight champion, the former world light heavyweight champion, and now the WBC middleweight champion of the world, the Hitman, Thomas Hearns.
And he really does revel in that, and you can understand that. There's a little bit of history there, and he's still dying to fight either Sugar Ray Leonard or Marvin Hagler, but he's a bit of a hard nut, this Iran Barkley, I'll tell you that. He's won 2 fights, Barkley, since he lost that decision to Calamba in Italy. Tommy Hearns always looks for that sharp right-hand punch to come in there and stamp the old authority right away on the opponent's chin. And remember how he demolished the great Roberto Duran. And his only 2 losses, of course, were to great fighters, Hagler and Leonard. Was something explosive, Jim, when Hearns is in the ring. I mean, such a phenomenal puncher. But in the last one, he went down himself, wobbled all over the place. Now, came in with a little bit of needle, as they say, with Barkley. He's been dismissing him a little bit too much, and certainly fighters of Hearns' quality like a little bit of respect.
Well, it's a typical Tommy Hearns first round. He looks to land the big bombs as early as possible and try to intimidate his opponent. And already they've both landed good punches, but Hearns that little bit more power.
I mean, he intimidates you with a lot of pain too in those punches. He can dig with either hand. I would say the right hand, I should say, is his favourite punch. And when he turns the left hook in his welterweight days, he really nailed people. He's a gutsy guy though, Barkley. He's taken some good shots there and tried to ignore them and come back in again. Qualified for this shot actually, Barkley, by stopping New York favourite Michael Olajide.
I think I see a little bit of blood already on Barkley's left eye. I don't know, a little nick or
Well, they haven't been close enough for head clashes, Jim, I'm sure. It's got to have come from a punch. Yeah, there is, you're right. This does look serious, I'm pleased to say. We want to see some more of the fight yet. So there it is coming up then for that countdown. That minefield touch of coming out there in the first round is over now. They can both settle down a bit, I suspect. There's no love lost, is there? Notice that they're doing the staring bit at the end of that round.
Barkley's corner have taken a terrible time to get working on that eye.
Yeah,
the second's not even in the corner yet. That's a disgrace.
And I'm surprised because Eddie Aliano, who's doing it, is very well known as a cut man here. And he already had the adrenaline swab in his mouth there, or the stick anyway, not the swab.
Keep your hands up, man.
And
I'm doing, baby. You're doing pretty fair, but keep your hands up. Okay?
that's a pity for him, of course. That must bother him, Jim. That's the end of the first round against a puncher like Hearns, and you're already showing a bit of blood. That hurts.
You know, that's the last thing you need, obviously, and he does cut up, he does get banged about a little bit. He's not the most difficult man in the world to hit, so that's trouble straight away for Barkley.
And just quick replay then before they come out. Out for the second round. Iran Barkley's left eye patched up a bit there. The old-fashioned feint. You don't see that too much in boxing now, with Hearns trying to draw Barkley's lead there. There it is, and he drew it. Perfect over the top right-hand shot there. He really looks as sharp as a tack here, Hearns. He's bitten all this adverse publicity about him wobbling against Roldan last time up, Jim.
Yeah, you wonder where Hearns finds the motivation. He's obviously made plenty of money. He holds the record, first man ever to win 4 world titles. yet he's going about his job tonight as though it's his first world title fight, full of life and full of ambition. Where does he get his motivation? I don't think Barkley can hope for any success if he backs off away from Hearns. He's got to get his hands in nice and tight, go forward and try to wing punches towards Hearns.
Fights I've seen Barkley, and he's got better as the fights have gone along. He's a bad starter, but then they weren't at the high quality of Hearns, although Sambu Kalambo is a very awkward man to beat, as Harold Brown discovered.
Well, Barkley got through with a decent shot to high in Hearns' head there.
All those heavy odds takers going forward 1-7-2. When they see a punch like that landing, there's a little bit of hope for their pockets, I suspect. Richard Steele, referee, just making sure Barkley's not hanging on too much in close quarters. Break when he's told. A bit like in baseball terms here, Jim, the pitcher and the catcher at the moment.
Yeah, Barkley's face is getting pretty banged up already, blood coming from his mouth, the left eye bleeding again.
Yeah, it looks to me as though this eye is going to be the trouble here. That's worse than considerably, I think. Started in the corner of the eye and spread along a bit. Almost as if Hearns resented that the bell had gone there, and the referee's going over. It looks as though he could be calling the doctor up for a... No, he's not. He's just taken let the seconds get on with it a bit before anybody has another examination of it, and collecting the judges' scorecards meanwhile. And now Richard Steele is going back into the corner. And yes, the Nevada State doctor just coming up having a look.
Outside, you can't block with it. Okay, let's fight the motherfucker. Okay, go ahead and fight.
Now swallow this one out.
Manuel Stewart working there as always, the manager with Tommy Hearns, a long good career they've had together.
Jab is working good, baby. Slip right hand. Slip right hand?
That'll be our little doll's house arms almost, aren't they, called eye swells that they use in an ice bucket to try and keep the swellings down. Well, he really looks like a warrior coming out there for the third round, Iran Barkley. He's got to unload because maybe the corner have said if you don't do something you could get start with a cut.
Well, this is what Barkley has to do. He has to come forward, knock Hearns out of his stride and swing some of these bombs and hope he catches him, because he doesn't seem to have much time with that left eye. When Hearns' box rolled down, he admitted to feeling very tired because of the ferocity of the pace. So Barkley also has to do this, really set a pace, and if Hearns is tight at the weight as he possibly could be, that would act in Barkley's favour too.
He's certainly got all the build of a natural light heavyweight, but not a middleweight, a stone heavier than this.
Punching it out, break.
Oh, kicking those to the body there. The referee telling him to keep the punches up. Barkley didn't complain, but they were really solid body shots. He's bloodied pretty badly there, Jim. It's a pity if it's going to stop this contest, because Barkley's a brave fella. He's having a go, but he's really shipping some punishment now.
Well, Hearns is picking him like a true professional, a true champion.
Almost taunting him with it, isn't he? head down and blindly throwing punches there, Barkley. Obviously, he's a bit crude at the best of times, but if he can only see from the right eye, then he's got to try and edge it that way and look that side.
Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
Now he's just got a standing target at times there, Hearns. Oh, what do you think of this? A man taking a beating, throws one hit and hits the record-breaking Tommy Hearns on the chin in the third round, and he's got to get counted out, or if he doesn't, he'll be all over the place when he gets up. But Richard's still trying to give him as long as he can, and he's made it, but for how long? I don't believe this one, Jim. Unbelievable. Tommy Hearns right above that position, and we're holding our hands up trying to stop him coming up the ropes here. And the referee's grabbed him, and it's all over in the third round. He's literally on our television monitors. They pulled him back in the ring. Jim, do you believe what you've just seen?
I don't believe it. He'd completely broken up Barkley. We've seen Tommy wobbled a couple of times. We saw him wobbled a few times against their old Dan. People have been saying he's reached the stage where he doesn't have the punch resistance any longer, and that looks the case because it was only one shot right out of the blue. Hearns was in complete control. Suddenly it was all over.
Well, I started the commentary by saying there was some smart money, and there were people in the fight game who knew their business, who backed this fellow to win, and there he is. I mean, he's really bleeding like a stuck pig as well, and was getting a bit pitiful at one point. And I was wondering if the referee was going to be in for some criticism for not stopping it. Suddenly, out of the blue, and that's what this fight game's all about. One punch making all the difference, and that, to me, must be the end of Tommy Hearns. I don't think he'll want to come back after that. He could stand losing to Marvin, Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard, and they were great fights, but surely not with that one. As you say, Jim, I think the punch resistance at 29 now, he's been around a long time, 45 wins, and he really still does look groggy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's completely gone. From the moment that punch landed, I'm surprised the referee still allowed it to go again, but only a couple of seconds, because you could see Hearns had nothing left. Probably a 4-time champion. You had to give him a chance to see if he could through the effects and get back into the punch, back into the fight again, but it's pretty obvious he couldn't.
Jim, here is this punch now. This is one that's going to be history making. Although Hearns was the history maker, bingo, he dropped his hands and he paid the penalty. And really, as he didn't know what town he was in then, the hitman from Detroit. And he really did well to even climb up from another angle, Jim.
Yeah, just a wild swing out of the blue, which was the only way Barkley could have success, but it was bang on the chin, bang on the point of the chin. Caught him again as he went down, but we didn't need that second one. It was all over for Tommy by then.
Weighs the time, 2 minutes, 39 seconds of the third round. The winner by knockout victory, and new middleweight champion of the world, Iran Barkley.
Tommy was a great fighter, you know, and I'm thanking him for giving me a chance to fight him. A great champion like him, and a legend, a great legend. And he gave me an opportunity when he didn't have to, and I thank him.
I'm glad that we had a pause in our contract for a rematch, and yes, indeed, I want a rematch.
Where did you make the mistake which allowed him to get that right in on you?
I have no idea right now. Just probably some careless movements, I guess. But Barkley was a better man than I was tonight. I have to give him the credit. He came out to fight. He wanted to fight really bad. And it proved to the world that he wanted to fight much better than I did. I guess being in this situation, by going out beating everybody that you walk into the ring with, I guess you kind of lose something, the edge that you once had, the hunger that you had going into the fight in your earlier career. But now, after this defeat for me, it's a setback. It just made me want to get out there and do it again.
Even though you talk about you want to do it again, there will be some people who will try to convince you that maybe it's time for you to retire.
Well, they may be right. Boxing been good to me. I had a lot of big victories, and I had a few not so great victories. But in all my career, I gotta say, honestly, Thomas Hearns has had a beautiful career.
When the first time he knocked you down, everybody was completely in shock.
Well, as much as I think that everybody else was in shock, I was too. But, you know, I guess it's something that goes on in the boxing business. You have to take the good with the bad, the bitter with the sweet. And tonight, it just wasn't for me tonight.
Oof. It's ironic when you look at the two of them afterwards. Hearns seems unruffled and unmarked. Barkley looks as though he had an argument with a combine harvester. The rematch, subject to